My theory is when we perform PK or any other mind over matter exercise, our consciousness switches the brain from linear functioning, firing randomly in different areas, to 100% capacity, whereby the brain functions as a whole. Anyone can do this. In fact, without knowing the anatomy of the brain, all you have to do is focus your intent on the center of the brain. And that information is then distributed through the corpus callosum to the two hemispheres, which allows you to understand what's going on, and through the endocrine system, which then allows you to feel what is going on. Because the brain is now engaged at its full 100% capacity, you can now perceive and experience things beyond the normal human range, meaning beyond time and space. If this is true, then we should be able to transcend any limitation of our physicality, perhaps even our eyesight. Our first stop is in the UK, where we encounter children who are using blindfolds to access their superhuman abilities. We're gonna play some games. Put your blindfolds on for me, please. Ready? Justin, tell me what's on this card.
Teacup.
And now tell me what's on this card.
Tiger.
Isabella, what is the shape and color of this stone?
Kind of like a circle, and it's not really, it's kind of like see-through.
Here's yet another example of how consciousness can interact with the physical world beyond what science claims to be possible.
When we work with the blindfold, it's so that we can encourage the children to use the vision that they have with their higher consciousness.
Evie, tell me the shape and color of the stone.
It's red and kind of a circle.
Yes. Evie, tell me what I'm holding in my hand.
A wooden spoon.
We expand their consciousness beyond that they believe or understand that they can, take them out into universal energies.
Okay, now let's go search for that beautiful inner light of yours.
I can see it.
Fantastic. Bring the light out into the area around you, your
I've done
light
it.
field. Good boy. Well
I can
done.
see it.
And then they can work with the higher consciousness, seeing, because they have the potential to see from every cell in their body.
Now, you're going to read a line each.
The other dragons were purple with smooth, shiny scales, but Marmaduke was faded orange with sticky out scales.
Excellent. Good girl.
It's like witnessing a miracle. It's really, it's just beautiful to watch.
George was enjoying a quiet evening in the Heavenly Hippos Wildlife Park. Suddenly, he spotted a group of animals creeping past.
The first time I actually saw it for myself, when I come to do my training, the only word I can think of is emotional. It was very emotional.
Pitter-patter. The rain was tapping, and the windows and the wind was banging.
When my son started to read and I saw him reading,
Our day out is ruined.
they kind of shine. It's just amazing.
No mouse would put a paw out in that weather.
Needless to say, I wanted to know what it felt like to experience the physical world through these blindfolds.
Totally dark. Yes. Wow.
Witnessing these incredible children up close got us on a journey to discovering others around the world who are applying similar methodologies to achieve mind-blowing results. At MPUSA in Ogden, Utah, a blindfold technique called Vibra Vision helps you sense the vibration of various objects in the physical world.
All physical matter in the universe is actually a form of energy that's made up of atoms. And those atoms are cycling or vibrating at a certain frequency. Practicing vibra vision gives us the ability to access our sensors and to perceive those vibrations, and then convert it into a usable mental image we call mind sight.
Red, yellow, blue, yellow, orange, blue, green.
We can see the unseen, to do things that are thought of as impossible.
8 of clubs, 10 of diamonds, 5 of hearts. 1, 2, 3.
At MPUSA, folks of all ages demonstrate these incredible skills inside the academy and out in the real world.
How about the grilled chicken and sausage gumbo?
Gumbo. That's fair.
How much do they cost again?
To $29.98.
Correct. And Colton, what were you just touching?
These are fan boxes.
All right, what color is that?
That's blue.
Let's find the Lay's brand. Old Spice body wash. Very good.
From Utah, we make our way to Stuttgart, Germany. There, children are using a different approach to the methodology and display skills with impeccable accuracy. In the beginning, it felt a bit weird when I was able to see without my eyes, but after a while, you get used to it. I was rather skeptical in the beginning, but once I learned it myself, my reaction was, wow, this really works. I believe much more is possible than we know. Human beings have a lot more skills that they could develop. I also have a granddaughter who learned this skill and bops around with the mask here today. I'm amazed how well it works. Groups around the world are using various techniques to achieve very similar results. I decided to investigate the origin of these methodologies, which led me to InfoVision in Moscow, Russia, and its founder, Mark Komisarov, who discovered blindfold perception 20 years ago.
Постарался создать методику, которая, как мне казалось, могла бы активизировать эту способность.
We developed a methodology that first worked with kids. Then I tried it with a blind kid, and it worked too. Then I tried it with adults, and it turns out the methodology also works with adults. And that is what I've been doing for the past 20 years.
Эту способность у любого человека.
Mark Komisarov's colleague, Mihaela Istrati, volunteered to offer further assistance on how the InfoVision technique actually works.
Once these three are in harmony, consciousness, mind, and brain, then everything works at the speed which the mind is able to accept this ability.
In an attempt to bring scientific validation to their methodology, InfoVision reached out to reputable Italian neurosurgeon Professor Enrico Pierangeli and the theoretical physicist Professor Elio Conti from the University of Bari in Italy.
We prepared some masks.
We prepared some masks with instrumentation, able to measure the quantity of light inside the mask. Once we were sure the quantity of light inside the mask was 0, the experiment was done.
The experiment was done.
8, 4, 7.
And the
volunteers were able to read the words on the computer.
The computer.
19. 42.
Also, when they were asked
in which color these words were written, they were also able to describe the colors. We just recognize this as a fact.
Recognize that this is a fact.
5, 9, 8, 9.
These methodologies can be applied to various eyesight issues such as Sylvia's advanced farsightedness, Radu's severe astigmatism, which had made it impossible for him to read,
Ce întrebări ți-au venit în minte în timp ce citeai?
or even the blind who are now able to perceive their environment with more ease. Now we're talking about something that is not just to help you with your guidance system or sense your environment, but something that is incredibly practical and transformative.
Если слепой ребенок начинает видеть, и я вижу слезы матери...
When I see the tears of a mother who brought a blind child and the child starts seeing after my seminar, that is what's important.
Ответить на ваш вопрос. Синий.
All the senses are coming together, and that gives you the experience of the environment non-locally. So it is not that you are visually seeing what is behind you, you are experiencing what's behind you. Back in the US, I shared my research with my longtime friend Kim, who at the age of 33 discovered she suffered from a rare genetic macular disease. While her condition is medically impossible to cure, Kim was willing to defy the odds and potentially try to regain her perfect eyesight.
My eyesight is something that's been not normal for half of my life. So the first half of my life, first 33 years, were perfect vision, perfect. And then at age 33, a genetic disease appeared and became worse and worse over a period of 2 years. And it's a rare eye disease, and it affects the macula. My biggest problem is I can't read very well, and I have a lot of different reading aids. I'm trying to stay open to anything, so I'm very excited, and I'm hoping that I'll have just improvement in the sort of clarity of what I can see and be able to read a little easier, to be able to see somebody's face a little clearer, read a sign. It's just so frustrating. One of the things we did that was really mind-blowing was to wear a mask that completely blacked out all light. There you go.
I'd like you to look around the mask in the darkness for the beginning. And sooner or later, you will start to see some little lights here and there.
You sit there for a while, and then all of a sudden you start seeing things. All right, now I have a white dot. I started to see the whole, it was as if I was seeing the whole universe, all of the stars, all of the constellations. You could actually see the stars blinking, you could see meteors. Because I can still see the stars again. It was very cool. It's like you were, and so you could just sit there for a while and just enjoy the show. And then we started to use colored pieces of paper to determine if I could see colors.
Yeah, so let's do like this. This is green. See if there's any difference in the colors.
Here says purple, the opposite color.
Mm-hmm.
Here is red. Well, I couldn't see 100% of the colors. Some of the darker colors were harder to see. I could see colors. I just have to wait, and then it shows up, which is kind of the point of the whole thing. You don't need your eyes. It's your awareness or your consciousness that actually is doing the perception. And it actually feeds to your visual system so you can then see it. So your consciousness sees it before your eyes see it, not the other way around. Everything's your attitude, which is your perspective, the way you go into things. It's just keep that attitude. I can do this, anybody can do this. That seems like it's blue.
It is blue. Let's start with the mask. And I'd like you to set your focus as a periscope on the papers that I want you to see.
Green.
Excellent. Excellent.
Looks like pinky red, magenta, whatever. Pinkish
Yeah,
red.
red. Excellent. Excellent.
I got yellow.
Yellow it is.
Oh.
Okay, well done.
Pink.
Marvelous. It is pink.
Oh, wow.
My instructor would show me letters. She'd hold up little kids' letters, and they'd be in a color, and they're all capital letters. And I could actually see those. So, and that wasn't right here in front of me. It was, she's in Romania, so it's many, many miles away.
I have a T.
Amazing, Kim. That's what it is. Well done. Woo-hoo.
Normally, if I pick up something to read, I'd get my magnifying glass and I'd assume this position. And this is really hard on my neck. It hurts, and I've had some neck problems from constantly doing the same pattern. But now I just pick it up, I look at it, and I just wait, and then I start reading.
Okay, so now it's getting really easy.
I used to take notes and just write as if like I used to write, and thinking I was writing well, but I wasn't. And so now what I'm doing is taking my time and seeing what I'm writing and making sure that each letter has a space around it, and so that I can now go back and read it, whereas before I couldn't see anything because the letters were on top of each other.
Okay, this says, let's try this now. I am going to write in different sizes.
So now I'm just deciding to pay attention, take my time, and now I can read what I write. Huge. The idea that seeing is not believing, that seeing doesn't have anything to do with it. It's more like you can perceive everything, the visible, the invisible, whatever. You perceive it with your consciousness and your awareness. It's not seeing is believing. In fact, it's probably the opposite, because your brain plays tricks on you through your vision and other things. So I think this is a huge concept that's applicable to everything.
The blindfolds are an incredible tool that remind us that we don't actually see with our eyes, we see with our brain. But it is your consciousness that is reprogramming and directing your brain to perceive what you want to perceive and experience what you want to experience. This is what this is about: mind over matter.